Hi everybody, so today I thought I would share a video of my session with Tia. Firstly, apologies for not posting anything over the last few weeks, but it's been either dark or raining or both for most of our outings, so we've not had the opportunity. During today's session I did forget to bring my tripod, so I'm having to balance my phone against trees or just on the floor, so the filming isn't great, so apologies for that. But we are working on an exercise that we did the other day on a training course I was on where Tia bogged off, so I thought I would try and recreate the activity a bit more successfully, hence why I have got her on the harness and long line, because I don't want her repeating the same behaviours again. So the exercise is all about lining. So we're working on this in a bid to help us improve our blind retrieves. The idea is that I line her up, and when she's looking in the right direction and I'm ready to send her, I send her on my verbal cue, which for me is back, and then she runs out to this white marker post, picks an item and brings it back. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be putting a pile of dummies down here. I think I'd used about 5 or 6. So that I could get repetition of the behaviour nice and quickly. And also, once I've sent her, I'm going to be taking a few steps backwards in order to start to gradually build the distance of our lines without her really noticing. So our first go at this wasn't particularly successful, and you'll see I lined and sent her. She sniffed them all and then went for a little bit of a wander. However, I thought I would give her time to try and think about it and process what she's going to do, and she did then pick an item and bring it straight back. So we recovered from a bad start. On this next go, she does kind of the same thing, but it doesn't last for quite so long, so we're getting a bit of improvement. Lined and sent her, sniffed about a bit. It's almost like she's looking to see if there's anything better there, but then picks a dummy and returns straight back to me. So on this attempt I did line her pretty poorly. When I sent her, she wasn't looking in the right direction, so that was my fault. But I did then call her back in, because as we are focusing on our lining, I want to practice on getting that right rather than handling her when it goes wrong, because that's not the focus of our exercise. So I reset her up and sent her, and you'll see on this time she went straight to get the dummy, picked it and straight back, so exactly what we're after. So then I just changed the setup ever so slightly, still using the same marker, but running a slightly different line towards it. Here you'll see that she sees me place the dummies out, so it's not a blind at this point, we are just working on that lining. The more we're doing this, the more anticipatory she's getting, so you can see that as I set her up for the first one, she goes without being sent verbally. So I just bring her back in, line and send her, and she waited then just for my verbal cue, picked it beautifully and straight back, so that's exactly what we were after. So then you'll notice that once I've sent her, I'm just taking a few steps backwards in order to gradually build up our distance without her really realising that she's doing it at all. So it's a really nice simple way to increase difficulty nice and gradually. So it's probably worth mentioning what success looks like for me with this activity. So what I'm looking for is that she follows my line and then runs in a straight line towards the marker post, and only pops her nose down when she gets into the area. What I don't want to see is that halfway that she starts putting her nose down and hunting up to the marker. Because although right now we're only doing very small distances, if we start to scale that up, that eventually makes it quite difficult and would require a lot of handling in order to get her into the area of fall. So instead what I want is a nice straight line out to the area until either she wins it or I stop her and then blow the hunt whistle for her to hunt in that area. But then on this turn she anticipates again, so stop her and recall her back, which worked beautifully. So a reward for that and then another reset. And this just shows me that maybe we need to do a little bit more work on proofing my body language and her steadiness. So maybe that'll be a focus for this week. But second turn round we were successful, and a lovely final one to finish on.